Alright guys, today is gonna be the guide for Illusory Tower Floor 47, which is not the red floor, so I'll be using Utah for this floor. Now if you don't have Utah, don't worry, I will be redoing a lot of the red floor later on using either Toji or maybe even red Maki, just so that you guys are still able to beat it if you don't have Utah. But for the time being, I just kind of want to run through all of the tower floor first using Utah, so everyone who do have Utah is able to beat them. Okay, now in terms of floor 47, the team I'm going to use is just a standard buff stacking team alongside with Utah. And this is actually going to be a perfect example of some of the concept I mentioned in my how to play Utah guide. If you haven't watched that video already, I will post the link in the description below. But basically in that video, I talk about exactly, why buff stacking works so much better for Utah than any other strategy, as well as, how Utah's damage is not just coming from his ult, but also kind of follow up by the 3 or 4 skills tree you'll be using at the same time. And you will see this as being a perfect example in how I'm meant to beat this floor. Okay, now in terms of the actual strategy itself, so basically what you realize is that basically there are two enemies. First of all, this enemy on the right, the mob, is able to suck away curse energy, whilst the slug vast majority of the time doesn't do much other than the fact that he has one annoying kind of like bite skill, which is able to suck away curse energy and also recover his own HP, which is very annoying. And also whenever he does his ultimate, he's able to almost like AoE nuke. But other than that, it's actually pretty easy. Like they don't actually do much damage outside of that. Now, in terms of the bite move, which he's able to recover curse energy and also HP, it's actually okay because the way my strategy is laid out that is that you'll be doing a burst damage followed by skill 3 to actually quickly break the enemy. So as long as he doesn't actually kind of recover his HP in between the turn where you have ulted and before you're able to break him, otherwise this strategy is absolutely fine to deal with that. So and you actually see my gameplay later on, he was actually able to use his biter attack to recover his HP just before I use my ultimate attack. But that was absolutely fine. I was still able to play through that. So this strategy is absolutely okay against that kind of attacks. Now, in terms of his massive AoE attack, that's where it's going to be annoying. But luckily, what you'll see is that you do have 3 characters who are all red, therefore you have the color advantage here. So they are actually able to tank through the attack by itself. Like just one single attack, they're able to tank it. They can't tank any more than that. However, Kaito's not able to, and that's kind of why I have Sukuna's vessel here, which is actually able for you to actually have a resurrection. And that's basically what I'll be doing. And also I'll be activating its first effect to do the damage reduction to ensure the rest of my team is able to survive through his first ultimate attack. And once you have survived through the first ultimate attack, what's going to happen is that Yuta will be recovering HP back through his own passive, so you don't actually have to worry too much about continuing the battle from there. Now, the actual kind of damage dealing part of this battle is that you have to realize when this enemy uses his ultimate attack, he's actually does it say here? Okay, it doesn't actually say here, but when he actually uses his ultimate attack, he's going to apply a debuff to how much damage you'll be dealing for 2 turns. So what you're going to see is that this enemy will be using his ultimate attack on turn 5, and then therefore on turn 6 and turn 7, you're going to have a massive debuff on your whole team that you won't be able to do much damage to him. And the way you would then be able to play this is actually you want to do an AoE ultimate attack with your Utah on turn 8, wiping out the mob and also do huge amount of damage to the main boss enemy. And you will be using the ultimate attack from everyone else at the same time as well. So that's basically something that you remember. And because Pride is able to last for 8 turns, however, you want this to be active not just for his ultimate attack, but also for one of his skill 3 afterwards. That's why you'll see me not activating Pride on the first turn, but only activating on the second turn. And from the second turn all the way to the 7th turn, I'll just be using his skill 1 the whole time, because I know, I want to stack up my pride twice to use buff up my ultimate attack on turn 8 as much as possible. So that's what you'll be seeing me doing on Yuta. And likewise, if you walk backwards, because of the buff on Yaga and Nanami, they only last for 4 turns. I only need to start buffing on them from turn 4 onwards. So that's basically what you'll see me doing. And from turn 1 to turn 3, they will only be doing their normal attack as well. And then the same for Kaito is that Kaito will be be using his skill 3 to improve the curse energy of everyone. However, you don't actually want to do that straight away. And the reason is this mob enemy is able to suck away curse energy on turn 3 when his special attack is ready. And if you actually use his buff too early, any extra curse energy you give is just going to be sucked away, or it'll be too full and you won't be actually benefit from that. And that's kind of what you'll see me on Kaito. I'll be using skill 1 on the first turn, then skill 2 and skill 3 use his skills. Sorry, turn 2 and turn 3 use his skill 3 back to back twice, and that basically allowed me to immediately almost increase their curse energy to full, even though the enemy will be sucking away a lot of their curse energy on turn 4. So that's basically what you'll see me doing there, and it's very important that you do this strategy. And then on turn 4 and turn 5, just before the enemy boss is going to do his massive AoE nuke, you actually want to use Kaito skill 2 to do a bit of damage taken reduction. Whichever ally that had been hit a lot and therefore may be actually on a bit low health and a bit risky. If they all are pretty full on HP, what I tend to do is basically give 1 stack to Yuta, because Yuta's passive can't heal himself, so I just want to give him a bit of extra survivability. And then the other stack will tend to be whoever between Yaga or Nanami have the lowest HP, and that's basically what allowed me to survive through his AoE nuke. And obviously I will also be activating the recollection effect as well. And then finally on turn 8, everyone ults together. You will always be aiming for the big boss rather than the mob, so that you do as much damage as possible. You may not be able to actually ult and break him straight away. However, even if you do not break him, you will just be following up with Kaito's skill 3 like back to back 4 times afterwards, and that should be more or less enough to actually kill off the boss. At least that's what happened for me with all of my skill levels such as this. Now, if you're not actually able to kill off the boss, what's going to happen is the boss will kill you off with his second ultimate attack. But that's absolutely fine, because what you actually don't have is Mahito at the back. You would just be quickly charging up his ultimate attack so that he can use his domain expansion, which should be enough to actually wipe out the boss and win you the battle.
対象の7対3の点を弱点にする。私からは以上。
愛してるよリカ。一緒に行こう。
決めます。
終わらせる。集中するんだ。
最善の片付けます。
勝つんだ。後ろは任せてください。
授業を始めよう。ここが踏ん張りどころです。
リカ。相手が隙を見せてます。
手早く
勝つんだ。
授業を始めよう。気張っていきましょう。
合わせる。リカ。相手が隙を見せてます。
手早く進ま
考えろ。
授業を始めよう。ここが踏ん張りどころです。
合わせる。リカ。今なら俺でも。
手早く
勝つんだ。呪連素術。
授業を始めよう。気張っていきましょう。
リカの